Hi everyone, welcome to day 2 of your 7-day yoga challenge. So today I wanted to focus a little bit on pranayama. Pranayama is the breathwork aspect of yoga, prana being our life force, our vitality, the energies within, around us, and yama is to extend, expand. So through pranayama techniques, what we're able to do is really cleanse the energy channels in the body, and then we're able to get this free flow of prana, this free flowing life force, which is then going to help us to feel much more aliveness, expansion, not to mention what it's doing for the respiratory system, our lungs, our heart, our nervous system. But on that energetic level, on that subtle body level, what it's doing for our wellness as well. So part of pranayama techniques are to sort of remove obstacles that are in our energetic body. So these can be sort of emotional blocks and stagnant energy. So there's lots to pranayama. It's a really quite profound practice, and we're going to start with a bit of samavriti. So we're going to introduce a bit of breath retention today, which is actually what makes it pranayama, takes it away from being a breath technique. So let's just start like we did yesterday, just starting with focusing on the breath. Now you can be seated, you can be laid down, you could be on a chair, whatever's comfortable. And you're just going to start by finding that equal breath again. So breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4, or whatever count feels sort of suitable. And you're going to just slow count of 4 for each breath, in breath, out breath. Remembering about 3-dimensional breathing. So imagine breathing into the front of the belly, ribs, but also into the sides of the body and the back of the body. Starting to make space, breathing in for 4, breathing out for 4. And if after a while you feel that you can expand that a little bit, take it to 5 or 6, then that's great. If not, stay where you are. We never want to force or strain the breath. So in a moment, we're going to add in the retention. So this is where we hold the breath. So you're going to breathe in for whatever count you were breathing in, hold the breath for the same count, and then breathe it out. Same count again. Now with breath retention, you want to be mindful, make sure it doesn't feel too much, and start off small. So you're breathing in for that 4, holding for 4, breathing out for 4. And again, there's no force, there's no strain. We're just starting to skillfully use the breath retention, making this the last round, and then letting it go, opening your eyes, coming to a seated position. And we're just going to start now with our movement by rolling the shoulders. So mobilizing through the shoulders, inhale up to the ears, exhale down the back. And we'll rotate the other direction. And then move into the neck, lowering the right ear towards the right shoulder, extending the left arm away. And then over to the other side. Bringing the head back to center. You're going to lower the chin to the chest, feel a nice stretch there at the back of the neck. And then inhale, bring the head up, and if it's okay on your neck, looking up to the ceiling. Exhale, center, leading with the chin, turning the head to the right, back to center and to the left. Back to center again. And we're moving into some seated cat-cows. So the chest lifts as you inhale and rounds as you exhale, rounding that spine, lifting and rounding. Use the breath, create that flow. And then coming back to center, we're going to uncross the legs now, give your knees a little release and come through into a child's pose. So bottom towards the heels, head towards the floor. Just start to ease through the back body. And just making sure that there's a little gap between the knees, and you're going to walk the hands over to the left and place your right hand on top of the left hand to stretch through that right side body. Take a breath here. And then walk back to center, over to the right, and the left hand rests on the right hand to stretch out that left side of the body this time. Nice deep breaths. Now bring it up to tabletop position, stacking through the joints, shoulders over wrist, hips above the knees. Start to lift the tailbone, look forward, and then round through the spine on the exhale. So tailbone lifts, inhale, tailbone tucks and round, exhale. One more, and exhale, release. Now taking the right leg out behind you, tuck the toe, push back through that right heel, and just start to stretch out through the back leg. Then you're going to switch it over, left leg, tuck the toes, push back through the heel. And then moving back to that right leg, you're going to lift it up to hip level, take the left arm out in front, draw your navel in, and then elbow and knee to center. Inhale, push out. Exhale, elbow and knee to center. Inhale, push out. Exhale, elbow and knee to center. Take that right leg back out, and then a little challenge here. Going to see if you can step the right foot up between the hands. Help it if you need to. Knee and ankle in line. Start to lift the chest and then push into the sole of the front foot to come up for a low lunge. Take the hands to the hips and level the hips off, drawing the right hip back slightly. Squeeze inner thighs together and inhale the arms up. Take an inhale as you exhale, right arm back, left arm forward, and an option to take the right hand down to the leg and left arm lifts up. Bring it back to your twist and then hands back to the mat. You're going to either keep the knee down here or lift the back knee for a runner's lunge just to get a deeper stretch. And then from here, come to the knees, take a moment here, and you can take a high plank, or you can keep the knees down in a modified plank, or you can stay with your tabletop position. Holding the tummy tight, couple of breaths, pushing back through those heels, pushing away from the mat, and then lowering back to your tabletop position. And the left leg steps behind. Let's lift it up to hip level, toes down, right arm extends, elbow knee to center. Inhale, push out, exhale, center. Inhale, push out, exhale, center. Release the arm, take that left leg back. See if you can step it forward. Now you might need to take hold of the back of the thigh and help it forward. That's fine. Knee and ankles in line. Be aware of the sole of the foot as you start to lift up through the body. Drawing the left hip back slightly. Squeeze inner thighs together. Inhale, arms lift. As you exhale, your next exhale, left arm back, right arm forward for a twist. Then lower that left arm and lift the right arm. Inhale. Exhale, back to the twist. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Again, the knee can stay down, or you can lift the back knee here, lifting through the chest, and you can either lower the knees again to come back to the knees, or take a big step straight back to that plank. So remember to do what I've suggested previously. I will offer challenges, but you can progress it a little bit or modify it, whatever you're looking for today. Lower the knees, sit the bottom back to the heels, back into Balasana, child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. Coming back to that quality of breath and just checking in with how you're feeling, just reflecting that you are modifying enough. Is there anything that you need to do to make this more suitable for you today? So we're going to tuck the toes now, spread the fingers, come to a quarter of a down dog. So you're just going to lift your knees up slightly and send the hips back, lengthening the spine. Lower the knees, okay? We're going to try that again, see if we could come up a little bit higher. Tuck in this, so it's like a down dog with really bent knees, not quite coming up all the way. Now you can practice one of those two, or if you're comfortable, you can lift the hips higher, take the hips back towards the back of the mat and start to pedal out the legs here. So moving through the hips, pedaling out through the heels, waking up the backs of the legs. If you're not here with this at the moment, that is fine. Lower your knees and keep practicing. So we're coming back to the knees, helping that right foot forward again. Keep the left hand down, Inhale, right arm up for a twist. Exhale, hands to the mat. Now you're going to step the back foot to meet the front foot. Halfway lift, bend the knees and fold, and use your hands on your thighs to come on up. Take the arms up, inhale, and then exhale, hands to the heart. From here, hands to the hips. Think about level hips here, pressing the hands into the hip points, taking inhale. You can pop a block in front of you for your forward fold if you think you'll need it. So inhale, pressing the hands into the hips. Come forward with a nice long spine. Bend your knees, keep the hips nice and neutral. Bring your palms to the floor or to your block. Crown of the head faces the floor. Tailbone starts to lift. Make any adjustments that you need. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Have the knees bent as much as you need to. Hands back to the shin, look forward. Take the hands down to the ground and then step to your knees or straight back to a high plank. So again, finding where you're at today. It might be one knee back and the other, or you might take that big step back to plank. You're going to lower the knees and we're going to step the left foot. No, we're not. We're going to practice our little lift of down dog again. So lifting the knees, lower down. Make sure those fingers are spread. Lifting the knees, lengthening the spine. Maybe coming up to a full down dog. Maybe not today. Maybe you're just practicing getting those knees up a little bit. Maybe you're reaching through the hip points and down through the heels. And a little pedal there if you need it. Waking up the legs. Knees kiss back to the ground and the left foot is going to step up. Now you can step from down dog if you want to. So if you're a bit more experienced, you might do that. Otherwise, from the knees. Come into that twist on the left side. So left arm lifts and comes back to the mat. And then step in the back foot to meet the front foot. Halfway lift as you inhale and exhale to fold. Push into the feet, rise up. Take your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Hands back to the hips. Let's practice our forward fold again. Inhale into the chest. Push your hands into the hip points. Hinge from the hips. Bend the knees. Keep the spine long. Palms to the floor. Shoulders away from the ears. And maybe the tailbone lifts a little bit. Take a nice deep breath, bring some quality of breathing. Now bend your knees deeply and either step to the knees first or again option to step straight back to a high plank. Holding that plank. Now you can either lower your knees and repeat the little practicing of lifting the knees and lowering, or if you feel confident, you can take an inhale and then exhale those hips straight up to downward dog. So remember, you're going to keep these videos. You don't need to get it perfect. So start to walk your hands back to your feet now. Deep bend in the knees and then roll yourself up to standing. So we're going to come into a bit of Vrikshasana in a moment. Bit of tree pose. So Tadasana first of all, palms forward. Take a breath, and you're going to shift the weight into your left leg. Bring your right tiptoe to the floor, heel to the ankle, or you can take the foot anywhere above or below the knee. Make sure your hip points are facing forward. Arms can stay out to the side or come to a prayer position. And remember, the toe on the floor, heel on the ankle is also okay. You don't need to be right up in this. Soften the jaw, take a few breaths, and then bring the hand down. Come back to Tadasana, palms forward. Take a breath. Reconnect, feel into the soles of the feet. And then lift the left foot, either toe to floor, heel to the ankle, foot to the calf, or lifting up the foot and bringing it to the inner thigh. So I get a little wobble on here, and it's fine, you know. Some days we balance, some days we wobble. Some days our feet slip off of our yoga pants, which is a usual one for me. But we don't quit. We try again. So taking another couple of breaths here in tree pose, gazing over the horizon, taking a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale, release the foot to the floor. Coming back to the front of your mat now into Tadasana, and take the arms up. Inhale, exhale, bend the elbows and knees, fold it all the way forward, coming into a ragdoll pose now. So open your feet wider, bend your knees really generously, elbow in each hand as you start to let the upper body come really limp and loose and dangle. Find a sway there from side to side. Now, for this next bit, it won't be for everyone, so either stay with stepping back to a high plank or the knees, whichever one is most suitable for you. Remember, there's no right and wrong, just what feels best for your body today. Taking that plank, and again, you can lift up to a down dog if that works, or you can lower the knees and practice just lifting up quarter of the way, half of the way, just starting to develop strength in the body, find a feel for it. Or you might just take a few deep breaths in downward dog, and on the next exhale, lowering the knees to the ground, sweeping the feet off to one side and taking the legs in front. We're going to lower ourselves down to the back now, so roll it down, come onto your back. And we're just going to start by loosening up through the hips. So opening your knees as wide as the mat and just starting to window wipe the knees from side to side. So making this window wipe motion with the knees, arms are out to the side. We just want to start to close down, to wind down. Now we're going to hug the right knee in towards you, straighten that left leg out, squeeze the right knee in, push the left heel away, and then use the left hand to take the right knee over for a little twist. You can look over the right shoulder. Come back to center, another squeeze, lift the head up, nose towards the knee, and then release. We're going to switch it over, left knee in, right leg extends, squeezing the knee, and then use the right hand to guide the knee over to the left for a twist. Shoulder blades stay on the floor. Inhale the knee back to center, exhale, lift nose to knee and release. Hug the right knee back in so both knees are into the chest. Have a little circle here, massage out the lower back in Apanasana. Make circles, have a rock, whatever feels good here. And then hold onto the knees or shins, lift the head and shoulders and take the nose to the knees. Release the legs down, ground the navel to the spine, press the lower back down, lift the tailbone, and then when you feel comfortable, come into Shavasana. Straighten the legs, arms by your side, let your feet fall away from one another, palms face up. If you need to adjust this to support your back, feel free to take another version. And then here is your time just to take a few moments to let everything relax now. And let everything that you've just done come together. So even in a short space of time, you have done some pranayama, you have worked the lungs, the respiratory system, you've cleansed the energetic body, the emotional body through breath work. And then you've moved through asana practice, which is another great way of really cleansing the nadis, working with the nervous system, just bringing a lot of balance and harmony to the brain and body. And then in Shavasana, we just let go. We let go of all effort, let the breath steady, and allow the body to come back to neutral, back into homeostasis. But of course, a new neutral. A neutral that feels much more balanced, much more connected. So let's start to bring awareness to the fingers and toes. Make some gentle movements. Hug the knees in. Take a rock from side to side. And whenever you feel ready, rolling off to one side and pushing yourself up to seated. Finding a seated position that works, crossing the legs or sitting on the shins or even sitting on a block. Just take a moment, finish being comfortable. So adjust your legs, change the position of your legs like I'm doing. Sometimes, it's about just taking a moment to find what feels most comfortable, most supportive. And then when we feel sort of settled in the body, then we can just bring the hands together at the heart, bring our attention inward. Smile. A smile goes a long way. Gratitude for your body and setting yourself an intention for the rest of the day. How do you want to move through your day today? Bringing the thumbs to the forehead, we'll bow our heads now. Namaste, everyone. See you tomorrow.